My dear loves, how are you doing? I truly hope you all are doing well and okay, and that the crazy Christmas time is not overwhelming you guys. I have felt the really deep and urgent need to rest a lot lately. My body was kind of forcing me. And while I was resting, I was thinking and feeling the pace of the world. And it reminded me, what I felt reminded me of a dream that I had more than a year ago. I have never forgotten that dream. I felt it a very urgent message that I got. And I titled actually the dream. I titled the dream The Scientist Dream. And it talks about why we are having such a fast pace in our world. And today, as we are going through this Christmas time, and maybe the pace is speeding up, I thought it might be a good thing to share this dream that I have never shared before with you. So I just gonna, and I'm actually not sure whether I should share my interpretation with you guys or if I just should share the dream, and you yourself, you can, interpret the dream as you like or as it resonates with you. I'm not sure yet, so we'll see. So the dream goes the following. I am in my hometown. This town is called Wädenswil, and I am at the train station, and I am actually in the bathroom of the train station, and I am where the sink is, where you wash your hand, and I am looking into the mirror. And in real life, this bathroom at the train station in Wädenswil, where I grew up, to me was when I the first time went into that bathroom as a child. I felt utterly odd. It was a super cold space. It felt like abandoned, but it felt totally new to me. I have grown up in this town my entire life, and I do remember when I entered that bathroom for the first time, it felt as hardly ever somebody is using it. And it was new to me too. So, in my dream, I am in that bathroom that hardly ever anybody used. It was new to me too. I'm standing in front of the mirror, and I'm looking into the mirror. And when I look into the mirror, I see myself taking out sticks of my head. And those sticks, when I kind of pull them out, right? I pull them out. When I pull them out, I can see at the end of that stick, there is like a, how you call that? When you have crabs or, crabs, they have like little tongues kind of at the end, their arms, right? So I pull out those sticks, and at the end they have like little crabs' tongues, as if when they were in my brain, they were eating up my brain. And I finally can pull them out. And after that, when I was done with that, I all of a sudden was in another scene, and I was with a scientist, and I knew he's a scientist because he had one of those white coats on that physics people, or people who work in chemistry, they have those white coats on. So this guy wore that white coat, and we were driving in a golf cart. Or better, he was driving in the golf cart and I was sitting next to him. And we were driving underground. I looked up and I saw everything was white. There were no windows, but everything was white. And I knew it's underground. It just felt like a kind of fancy underground bunker. So we were driving, and I was kind of a visitor. So he was talking to me. I was kind of visiting his underground science lab. That was not accessible to anybody, but the people who worked there were people like me who got invited. So he was explaining me what they were doing there. He was talking to me, and I was just listening, and I kind of could not believe that he was talking, like explaining to me what they were doing, because I felt like kind of not being a spy, but as if he would explain it to me in a way, what they were doing, because I would be one of them, and I knew I am not. I'm just kind of an observant, but I'm not one of the team members. So we were driving and he was explaining to me, talking to me, and then I saw we were entering a new area, and entering that new area, right in front of us was a that's the funny part was a small green alien statue. And I say statue because it wasn't a real alien, but it was placed there. It was one of those small green aliens that we call the aliens from Mars, right? It was one of those. And it was there in that new area. And it was kind of, I knew once we passed this statue, we're really gonna enter the real science lab. So I saw this statue, and then I look at the scientist, and he looks back at me, and he said something like, yes, those are those not guides, but those are the ones who teach us what to do in this lab so that it gets out into the world. And I kind of understood that those green small aliens are working with the humans, and they actually put something of them into the humans to make the humans that are working in that lab more alike to them, so they can work better together. And what they are creating in that lab is something that will help to manipulate the world in a way that the DNA of that alien, or that part that they put into the humans and other humans, helps them to survive better in that world, and kind of be of more population in the world. And while he was explaining me why that statue is there, that was the reason, because that's like their species that they are being guided by. We cross that statue, and another golf cart comes towards us in such a high speed, and on that golf cart were two people. I think one was a man and the other one was a woman. And the woman had long dark hair, and because they were speeding so much at such a high pace, her hair was like flowing in the air, like. And when she crossed us, when that golf cart crossed us, I look at her and I feel like she has some similarities with me in her face. She kind of looks alike. And then she looks back at me and she just stares. And her hair is floating in the air. And they're like really riding on high speed. It was super fast, but super clear. At that moment, I understood that what they are doing in this lab is actually something that is accelerating the pace, the speed in the world. And it affects people. And I wasn't sure what exactly they were doing in the lab, but I understood it has to do with our mind. It has to do with our mind. What they are doing in the dream, what they are doing is something that accelerates our thoughts, that accelerates our mind, that accelerates our life. It kind of takes on speed in a way that it feels unnatural to us. It feels draining to us. It feels very demanding to us, right? But to them, to people who work in that lab, and the ones who are associated to that green small little alien, for them it's the perfect environment. It's the perfect environment. For us, it isn't. For them, it is. And they are trying to manipulate and arrange and build such an environment so they can thrive and we cannot. So, that is the dream. You made it through 13 minutes and 35 seconds. So thank you for that. And all I want to add is how important it is to really slow down in our lives. How important it is that you understand that you are worthy of rest. You are worthy to chill out. You are worthy and allowed to do things slowly, really slowly, with no guilt. You don't have to hustle. You don't have to do a million things. Many things can wait till tomorrow or even the next day. After tomorrow, it's okay. It is very important that we learn we can just chill and do things slowly without guilt. Okay? Keep that in mind in those busy days. I love you very, very much.